everyone, welcome back. I am Burgandi Phoenix.
And I'm Govind Kumar.
And you are watching The Curve, brought to you by
Casting Frontier.
You guys, today we are going to talk about
rejection. And how do you deal with it? How do you move forward from it? And what are the support systems you have so when you get dealt a blow, you get back up rather than staying down?
Down. Okay, so in life, you deal with rejection. But if you're in the entertainment industry, you deal with it almost every single day, right?
Yeah.
So whether you're auditioning, whether you're directing, writing, producing, we all face rejection. And I think that one of the biggest misconceptions is that nobody faces that once you get to a certain level. No, it does never go away. It just gets bigger and harder.
And so, so can you think of a, rejection you've had in your life in terms of in the industry as an actress, and then what you did to kind of get back up?
Yeah, I can think of about 30,000 times that I was rejected in the last year.
The negative self-talk.
No, I think, So, there's so many different stories, but I think that one of the biggest things that I realized is rejection can actually teach me something instead of make me feel like I was a terrible person who had no talent and I should go back to Arizona.
Oh.
I've really had that self-talk for a long time. And then once I realized that, wait, these are all lessons. This is here to teach me something. It was all about the way that I actually perceived the rejection. So instead of me being like, God, I'm so blank, I was like, okay, how can I learn from that? I didn't get that role, or I didn't get a call back for that. Okay, I can't control that, but you know what? I got to win. I went in the room. That's another casting director I can write down, send a thank you note to, network with. Do you know what I mean?
I love that. You're staying grateful. You're celebrating your victories, but you're also getting closer to being more self-aware.
Right, and that took me a hot minute. It took me years to get there, and a lot of therapy and some meditation and happy hour with friends.
And I think there's all different types of rejection. If you're getting callbacks and you're getting close to getting the role, you don't have to see that as rejection. That means that you're really close. They're loving what you're doing, but you also don't know how they're going to settle to pieces. Right. I think also for me, I had an experience where when I moved here, I was sending I hadn't had headshots in so long, but I was sending my old headshots out, barely had a reel together. And then I was sending my submissions out to some agents, and I was with an agency in New York. So I thought, okay, well, this agency out here will definitely take me, because I was, getting some work there. And then they got back to me and they're like, I met, and then they're like, you need to get better headshots and get your reel together. And rather than, of course, I felt at first, I'm pathetic. I can't believe I don't have my stuff together. But then I realized, well, what do I have control over? Which is all of the things that person was saying, which is you need great pictures. You need your reel together. That's the stuff you have control over.
Right.
Because then once you're in the room, you do your work, you have to let it go once you leave the room.
Absolutely. You get an audition, you leave, you live your life. You get a callback, you leave, you live your life. You book something, you're on set, it's fabulous. You leave, you still live your life. I think the idea is to keep growing, and instead of thinking okay, that was it, now I hit my ceiling, there is no ceiling. So we think that as long as you have these 4 things, it's a lot easier to deal with rejection. So number 1,
having a physical exercise, a release physically that keeps you healthy and fit.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yoga, running.
Yeah. So for me, it's hot yoga, and I love to run
Same.
up to Griffith and then pray to the Hollywood sign.
Oh. I didn't ever think to pray to the Hollywood sign.
You got to do that. That's how we got this.
Yeah.
And then what do you do physically? So of course, yoga.
Yoga.
You're so beautiful.
I love yoga.
Yeah,
I dance. I love to dance.
There we go.
Whether it's hip hop, ballet, I do it all.
Stay
I love
tuned.
That's
amazing.
Then also I think is number 2, right? To do something spiritual, whether that's that you meditate, whether you pray to the Hollywood sign like Govind does.
Just a spiritual practice. Even if, I have a few friends who they do a gratitude journal, or they do 3 things at night that they write that they're grateful for. I think it keeps your attitude positive. And so, sometimes it's hard to flip the script. And so I think if you just maintain positive attitude. What's number 3?
Number 3 is having a great support system, whether that's friends, family, a community at your acting school or your improv troupe. Somebody or people rather, that are going to uplift you and not kick you while you're down.
Yeah, that you can be real with, but then that they're also maybe successful and motivated in what they do.
Right.
And so they're working hard at what they do, so it can reflect on you.
Totally. And then number 4
is
actually doing something that has nothing to do with the industry, right? Like a hobby. this took me forever to figure out. I was like, well, what do I like doing? I like singing. Okay, no, that's art. Like, what do I like? Music. No, that's arts. And like, I love going to the beach with my dog and eating.
Aww.
Like those are like I really do. Like eating is usually my hobby.
You eat separately.
No.
You don't eat the same thing.
We eat the same thing.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Fur baby. We eat everything.
I love that. No, and I think that I think if you're in the industry, most people are in LA where we're at, but if you're in the industry, we're all working on what story are we telling. And actors or producers or directors, it's pieces of the puzzle in telling a story. And so if you have a release, and you have a hobby, it's a release for you to tell a different story for yourself, or release those pheromones so you're not focused, obsessing about.
Oh my God, how many auditions did I get this week? Oh my God, how many times did I book this year? How much money did I actually make? My taxes. Just stop. Just take a breath and just realize this is life. Life is too short to be all stuck up in that headspin. Trust me, we've been there. It doesn't ever go away. You just have to have a better handle on it, And also I think it's important to realize, like, really the only thing you can control is how you react to the things that are given to you, right?
Yeah.
And also you're in control of your own life and your own destiny. So if you're not booking, you're not auditioning, guess what? Go create something. Get with your friends. Do a character video. Do something that you love, whether you post it or not, and get a ton of likes on Instagram.
And why not use the rejections as a positive spin? It's like, if you're not getting what you want, you have to figure out why you're not getting what you want.
And most times it's way out of your control anyway. It's like,
so use all the things, kind of go on a run, like get your head out of the gutter.
Have a drink or 5.
Yeah, and I think the thing to remember is when you're facing rejection, it's do you have a set of tools in your toolbox to get you out of it? So is it a physical practice, spiritual practice, emotional? Because the thing that is permanent in this industry is rejection. Is that, and if you're not able to grow from it, or you're so bogged down by it, it shouldn't be painful all the time.
Right. Maybe
and you have to have joy.
Isn't the right career for you then. If you feel like miserable every time you think about the fact that you didn't book something, or, oh God, now I have to go work on this set of sides. Like maybe take a step back and reevaluate what you want to do. It's okay. It's not for everybody. Yeah. Maybe you're meant to be a showrunner or a writer or an agent or a nail tech.
Or or even just taking a break from it is useful. It's just saying,
I think that's
I'm not able to grow from the rejection. It's just getting me too down.
Right. Take a break, clear your head, come back. And honestly, most times, right, I find when I take a break, maybe it's the same for you. When I take a break, number one, that's when I get the most auditions, when I'm like, I'm not available for 6 days, but I'll have my self-tape stuff. They're like, we need you to self-tape every day. And then I come back and my head's in a different space, So anyways, we would love to hear what you guys think and what you guys do to help yourselves stay.
Self-care.
Yeah, all the self-care you guys do to make sure you're not feeling all of that rejection all the time. Comment below, like, subscribe, follow us on social media, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, stay tuned for our next episode of The Curve.
We'll see you next time.